Hello and welcome everybody to another Tuesday night of action-packed racing here with the HCK Beagles Racing League. Tonight, all brought to you by Muehlberger Custom Homes. They've been a proud sponsor, man, for quite a while here with the HCK guys, and once again stepping up to the plate to sponsor another great race tonight here at Michigan. We'll touch more on Muehlberger Custom Homes a little later on, but first let's get things started off with tonight's national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And welcome back as we are slowly winding up practice here at Michigan. And man, this has been a great track that we've seen for some of this race in action. I think this is the track that we saw 5 wide action happen, and somehow people actually made it out of that one alive. So hopefully we'll see some more craziness like that here tonight. But first, talk about some craziness happening around here. We got Mr. Alan English up here in the booth with me. Alan, how you doing tonight, man?
Great, man. Always look forward to Michigan. Every time we come here with this league, it's specifically the HCK Beagles League, we always see some great, 3-wide action, sometimes even more than that, as you mentioned. And it's always an exciting race. These guys always put on a great show. I'm expecting that tonight will be no different.
Not one bit, as down there on pit road, as always, a champion here at Michigan, Mr. Adam Turner. Adam, how are you feeling the atmosphere around here tonight?
Oh, it's the home of Ted Nugent. This is the place to be right here, Michigan, and champion, myself included. I have one here, official race, many moons ago. But I can tell you this. We're going to see a lot of fun on that backstretch out of 2, tightens up, and then your money is navigating 3 and 4 and on older tires. But let's get down to business. 2 fast repairs, 75% fuel, minus 5% power, unlimited tires, 160 miles, 80 laps, 114 degrees on the track. It's 180s. Well, let's do it.
Yeah, as we are looking at that race info. And man, oh man, it is a warm one out there, but otherwise a nice, bright, sunshiny day. So I hope you got that cooler all stocked up. Which also brings us down to tonight's key to the race. And it's not get a room, even though some of y'all probably need to do that as well, but it's get some room. It's going to be one of those races where if you can get yourself cleared into some empty space and clean air, man, you're going to have a really, really good run here.
Well, and as Turner likes to say, it really tightens up coming out of 2. That's a pretty tight turn there. And if you don't leave room between you and the guy you're racing beside you, that outside wall can kind of creep up on you, can't it?
Yeah, it does creep up on you, and the deal is you're running in traffic with guys. It could become an issue. air's blowing off the back end of that truck, moving it around. Your tires are warm. You could cause a big problem. There's a huge runoff on the inside on the backstretch, but usually what happens is the cars collect riding up into that wall, and we see mayhem and fights. So that's the cool part about it.
Absolutely not kidding, as these drivers start to make their way out there onto the track for some qualifying action. Just all solo qualifying, 2 laps to put in your best time, and here we go. Times are now starting to come in, and right now you got Cody Staten up there on top of that leaderboard, and you can just see how quick these guys are running around here. Right around that 40.5-second mark, which is an average speed of just over 175 miles an hour.
Yeah, Andrew Hansley over there joining us on the Facebook, saying hoping for a lot of green flag laps tonight. That's what he's going to be basing his pit strategy off of coming into this race. He played around, came up with a pretty solid strategy. So if he gets the green flag laps that he wants, it's going to really play to him. So looking forward to a great race tonight. Andrew Hansley over there on Facebook.
And talk about a driver who's been really needing a good result. It seems like every time we've been talking about Andrew and how he's been doing good or something, man, something always happens. So I know at least one driver who's hoping for some change in that luck action. As we take a look here at that one of Derek Welch. He's trying to put in some good lap times here, and as noted, he really is not a huge fan of the super speedways. So this is one of those tracks that might suit him a little bit better.
Yeah, it's not really a super speedway, but it's not your cookie cutter. 2 totally different ends of the track. You really have to put a lot of practice in here, I think, to perform well. If you want to be a champion, takes a little work at Michigan.
Angry Indian 89 joining us over on the Twitch feed. Appreciate the compliment there, buddy. Thanks for as always, for joining us over on the Twitch channel.
Yes, indeed. As Albert Anderson getting really close to take away that top spot from Curtis Critchley. He still has that second lap to try to do it. Let's see if he can get a run down here on this back straightaway. Albert, one of those guys from Vigilante, kind of joining this season a little late to run for that championship, but he's been making some noise. Part of that Old Glory kind of newly made team here.
And Jay Knox joining us over on YouTube. Pull for Numb Thumbs Gaming. Some NTR guys out here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully they're broadcasting our broadcast over there on the Numb Thumbs radio. They simulcast us sometimes while they're playing around over there doing their cool stuff. Good to hear from those guys. Yeah, we got Old Glory and Morning Glory, the 2 offshoots and the American flag trucks. But it looks like America's driver, Albert Anderson's got him a pretty good second place right now.
He's up there pretty nice and secure, as still a few more people putting in those lap times. Someone who is missing us here tonight is that 4 of Eric Stoy, who welcomed into his family a new baby boy, Kyler Stoy. He's a brand new father. I think he was saying, this is his first time being a dad. So congratulations to that Stoy family. And you know what? I just getting a message. Hey, I got a picture here to show everybody of the new little one. Let's take a look. Yeah,
Oh, really?
I think we got ourselves another sim racer coming up through the ranks here in just a little bit.
Yeah, you got all the technology over there at headquarters, AAA headquarters in New Hampshire.
Yeah, but in all seriousness, congratulations to that Stoy family as they welcome home Kyler.
If he came out looking like the Stig, maybe it's time to get a
Hey, I like that.
test. You know?
Yeah, he's ready to go. Let's do this. Put him in there right now.
Yeah, who knows? Man, talk about an age gap. Then we're talking, between Michelob and little baby Kyler.
Well, that's be like, Nicola was around when they signed the Declaration of Independence.
Oh man.
So he quite a gap. I don't know if anybody knows the math on that one, but good to see him out here tonight, though. Hopefully he has a good run. I'd love to talk to him on the podium at some point.
Yeah, let's see. How's he looking here tonight? Just outside of that top 20 qualifying time, but things can go his way as soon as the laps start ticking away here. It's got a few more people left to put in some times. Josh Bittner out there, same thing with Andrew Hansley the fourth, as he's making his first couple rounds around here, trying to jump up that leaderboard. Same thing with Cale Turbeville and Hunter Smith. Cale, one of those guys in that playoff chase, trying to hunt down Curtis Critchley, who's sitting all alone up at the top, and by a good chunk of margin. It seems like that cat's going to really run away with this thing if people aren't able to put in some good results here.
In a big field tonight, the HCK guys, they always show up to race. Big group, 30 trucks out there. Going to be taking the green flag here tonight.
Yeah, and I feel this one's going to be pretty exciting. I did a race not too long ago. I just wasn't feeling it, so I had to go into Florida man stories, and I don't think we're going to have to do that tonight, guys. So I'll save you the Florida man stories. But there is a website if you want to check it out yourself.
Just finishing up qualifying. I think just about everyone's finished their attempts. And I'm looking at that 64th paint. It's not the chromed out. It's still Klondike, but it's not all chromed out like the wrapper is. So I wonder if he's trying to change some things up and maybe find his way back up into one of those podium spots here.
Earl Evans joining us over on the YouTube, saying, let's go, and what's up, Triple A? I'm sitting here watching you, Earl, in the 203. Looks like he'll be gridding up in 16th place, so right smack in the middle of the field. Long race, Earl. You got plenty of time to move up.
Not a bad place to be.
Not one bit, but as promised, we'll talk about a little bit more about tonight's sponsor, and that is Muehlberger Custom Homes, based out of that kind of, I think it's lower central Michigan area. Correct me if I'm wrong there, Mr. English. Can build and customize and remodel your homes to whatever kind of suits your eyes. But not only that, but they use the top quality products that you would expect to find a grade A contractor and whatnot use. So definitely go look them up over there at MuehlbergerCustomHomes.com.
Yeah, it's a western Michigan area. It's around Three Rivers, I think is where their home.
Oh, okay.
Their home office and stuff is. But check them out, MuehlbergerCustomHomes.com, or give them a call at 269-217-4948.
Yeah.
Or email Bruce at MuehlbergerCustomHomes.com.
Look at that.
You can get a hold of them any which way but loose.
Yes.
No kidding, man. As qualifying is just about to finish up here, which means our grid is going to be set and everybody's going to be off and running here in just a second. Just 10 seconds away, and no one else is going to be putting in a lap time. Looks like Michael Hicks and Joshua Moore are going to be the only two that do not put in that time. But man, let me tell you, the gap between first at Curtis Critchley and, well, now I can't see it anymore, but I believe
Albert Anderson and Curtis Critchley's 1,000th of a second.
But the gap all the way down to 27th, I think, was still within a second.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's very close. Very, very close. It's about looks like about 7/10 of a second difference between first and 27th place.
Ooh, doggy dog. That is tight.
Derek Welch. Go ahead, sir.
I was just going to start to do our countdown here, so go ahead and say your thing, and we'll get into it.
Derek Welch on YouTube saying, I'm not going to wreck tonight. I'm not going to wreck tonight. I'm not going to wreck tonight. And Southern Broadcast Racing Network saying, don't wreck DW tonight. Derek Welch going to be dodging everybody for sure. Go ahead, sir.
For that, I am sure, as we go into tonight's starting grid, that 27 of Curtis Critchley. He's going to be starting up here at the front with Albert Anderson with a great qualifying time as well. He's going to be starting on that outside in second. Right behind him, he's got Dustin Reilly starting here in third with Cody Staten in that 15 machine. Going to be starting in fourth. 6 of Paul Durkee going to be starting here fifth with the 20 of Justin Lawson starting in sixth. You got Cale Turbeville being able to get a qualifying time up there in the top 10 with a 7th, so he's going to be starting up towards that front. Same thing with the 97 of Rodney Griffin putting in a great time to start here in 8th. Hunter Smith driving the 3 machine here tonight is going to be starting us off in 9th. With Dave Hot Rod Mayberry driving the 115, running out tonight's starting top 10.
Row number 6 is going to shape out like this. The number 7 of Rick LePage starting on the inside. The 75 of Brian Skidmore starting to his outside in 12th. Mark Collins in the 25 will be starting inside of Jonathan Osborne in the 81 to make up row 7. Row 8 is going to be the 96 of Zachary Peterson and Earl Evans in the 203. Row number 9 is going to be Kevin Winker in the 42 and Zachary Staten in the 88. Row number 10 is going to be Austin Johnson in the 12 on the inside and Derek Welch in the 1 on the outside.
There you have 24 Andrew Hansley the 4th, 21st. Number 5 of Stephen Naylor, 22. 66 of Paul Ferdiani, 23rd. 84 of Josh Bittner, 24. 110 Richard Nicolo Gray, 25th. 54 Brandon Coleman, 26th. Rob Chowdhury, Bay Area Rob in the 408. 27th. 51 of Joshua Moore, 28th. And looks like 29th we'll have Michael Hicks rounding it out. Sounds like we're having some ignition problems. Osborne in the 81 truck's having a hard time getting his truck to fire.
Oh man, that's something you need working. Otherwise, your truck's not going to go anywhere, I don't think.
Want to say shout out too to all the folks out there listening to us on Numb Thumbs Gaming Radio, NTG Radio, Alabama. Old man letting us know that the simulcast is up. So hey, everybody over there in Numb Thumbs community.
Oh, yeah, man, I'd love to have those guys. Tonight. I'd love to have them out there listening as they're doing whatever they're doing. We're just going to sit here and try to have a fun race here at Michigan, home of Ted Nugent. Kiss all the greats. And that truck's down.
Yes, it is. Pace truck is down, which means we are going to green flag racing here. The trucks are in the Geico restart zone. And here we go. Curtis Critchley and Albert Anderson side by side. Take that green flag here tonight for the first time. Off and running down into turn number 1. Side by side they go. This is one of those tracks we're going to see some of that plate track kind of atmosphere really play into it here in this kind of starting stages of this race. But as it goes along, you'll start to see where really kind of talent and strategy come more into play as Curtis is able to stay out in front of Albert there. But here comes Albert looking down into the inside here in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, great racing all over the track, even some 3-wide action here towards the back as the 3 is in between Lawson in the 20 and the 64 of Turbeville. These guys, we've seen them go 3-wide quite a bit. They can pull it off. They just got to watch it coming out of 2.
Hunter Smith in there as well. This is just where it gets tricky. Those tires are still cold, so you kind of got to watch your manners here as you come out of 2.
As people kind of bob and weave, trying to jockey themselves in for position here. Still just kind of a little crossing up here at the front. Albert Anderson is able to sneak that position away from Curtis Critchley. So Albert looking really strong here tonight, quickly taking over that lead here on lap number 2 of this 80-lap bout here at Michigan. Cale Turbeville looking through the inside here. He's kind of side by side with that 6 of Paul Durkee, trying to maybe follow that 15 of Cody Staten on through. Cody Staten racing for that Team America, and he's part of that championship kind of chase as well.
Emily Jane Smith over on YouTube pulling for Hunter, saying, get another big win tonight, Hunter. Yeah, he's going to do his best. A little bit different kind of racing tonight than we had last week at Talladega.
Yes, sir, it is.
Three wide again right here, almost, with Winker and Mayberry and Griffin out there on the outside.
And still side-by-side action going on just about all the way through this entire field. You see that 97 trying to battle off that bottom lane, but who knows? This may come into their favor here, running that top line and saving a little bit of those tires here early, especially if this thing goes for those long green flag runs that we know this track can produce. And obviously these drivers are definitely good enough for it. I mean, they were able to do green flag pit stops at iRacing Super Speedway, which is insane.
Yeah, and this is a whole nother animal here too, and we've seen these guys run flag to flag here. But, Lawson in the 20, right door to door with the 75 there for a second. They're kind of don't want to tempt the net code fairy too much. She might just go ahead and deliver.
Keep your eye on Cody Staten there in the 15. He's running that inside line and making some headway lap after lap here.
Yeah,
Hey,
that he is.
Turner, is this one of those tracks where you can push the inside line for a good while? I mean, with the progressive banking and stuff you have here at this track, you'd think that the longer you run down there, the more it's going to eat up the right front.
They'll still get eaten up. Not quite as quick as other places, but eventually your luck is going to run out and you're going to have to fall to the high side a little bit, as they say.
As that run from that 15 looks like it has just stalled out, as Dustin really continues to drive a very good line up there in third, trying to maybe adjust the draft that's going on up there on that high side. But you can see the majority of drivers trying to stick up close to that wall as possible, with just a fewer amount of cars looking to try to make that train on the bottom line work out. The problem is that, man, it's tough fighting for that grip on this hot track.
Yeah, I got a couple of teammates here running around each other. That's the Southern Outlaws guys. That's the 97 of Griffin and the 75 of Brian Skidmore, kind of hanging around each other right now. There's really not a whole lot of team stuff you can really do here. I mean, the track's so wide, and it's not exactly Talladega or Daytona, but I guess they can help spot each other and help each other maneuver through traffic if they can stay together. Right now they got Dave Hot Rod and Mayberry in between them.
I mean, that backstretch, they can kind of help each other out if they're, in file with each other. But other than that, you're kind of on your own here.
As they are still fighting it 2 by 2 back here. You got that 15 of Staten really trying to make that bottom line work. But the problem is, even if you wanted to go up to that top line, there's nowhere to go up to. Everyone's just hanging around bumper to bumper up there.
Alabama Old Man over on the YouTube saying that they're listening in right now on Numb Thumbs Radio to us, and they're on ATS tonight trying to log some miles and haul some loads. So thanks for listening, fellas. Since we are on the radio with you guys, we'll keep y'all kind of abreast on where your teammates are there.
Well, it looks like 3 wide going down the backstretch here.
That it is. You got the 75, the 42, and the 64 with a little bit of 20 action going on there as well. So you got Lawson, Winker, Skidmore all battling it out with Cale Turbeville as we... Yeah, Winker going from the top to the bottom, all the way from the wall down to that apron. And you know what? Michigan's one of those weird tracks where you can run down on that apron in the kind of like the tri-oval area near that start-finish line. So I'm expecting maybe something late if people start running out of room on that low side to maybe peek their nose down there a little bit.
It's something how he saw that momentum happening and then saw that hole open up and he just went for it. That was a long ways from where he started, way up by the wall to go all the way down to the yellow line to get in behind the 6 of Paul Durkee there.
Well, these tires are starting to get a little wear in them. Hunter Smith is losing a little grip coming out of 4. Let's see what happens here and coming out of 2 if we see any more sliding around.
As we see that 15 of Cody Staten, he was able to finally get up to that high line. He's now worked up some momentum to maybe try to work on the inside of the leader, Albert Anderson, up here. That slid the 27 of Curtis Critchley down to 3rd, and obviously everybody behind that down a spot as well, as everything continues to cycle around here, still side by side here with the 15 and the 2 as they come across the line here on lap 11 going on to lap 12.
So with 11 complete right now, here's your NTR teammate update. Collins is in 14th, Welch is in 15th, and Richard Michelob Gray is back in 23rd. All still on the lead lap. Still looking competitive. Anything can happen here.
Derek Welch has been making some moves. He made a move on the front stretch that was high to low, gained a couple spots. It looks like, let's look for him to do that again here.
Straight up Kaysen also on YouTube saying, let's go Kale. Kale Turboville in the 64. Klondike Machine. Got some fans out there pulling for him tonight as well.
As we got our official race official here tonight, Mr. Gregory Turner, Little Rimmer, who's graciously kind of stepped away from racing to admin these races. And he's saying word on the street is these guys are running hot. Multiple drivers saying overheating is an issue here tonight. So that is the first time I think we've ever seen that issue come up with these guys. So maybe that's some of the reason why you're seeing these guys maybe stagger around a little bit more is they don't want to put that engine under too much stress here that early.
Yep.
Good inside information.
Cody McEwen joining us on Facebook as well, saying Michigan should provide one heck of a race. Yeah, that's interesting you say that, about the temps getting up there, because what's the ambient temp? 79 degrees. So, I mean, the air temperature 79 degrees, that's not necessarily hot.
The track temp is 120 though. Derek Welch had to move down, get out of the way of, let's see what truck that was. That was the Peterson in the 96 truck. All is good.
And it is. He was able to use that wide backstretch there to his advantage to kind of get out of the way and make some moves to try to get around there. As we're starting to see a little bit of some gaps forming up here. You got kind of this main group of 9 or 10 drivers, and then things were kind of splitting out. But again, here we go with the 2 wide action kind of happening here right around where that 20 of Justin Lawson is currently in 7th. He's side by side with that 15 of Cody Staten right now, as drivers are kind of all scattering around, figuring out I've saved enough tires for now, I want to go racing. And that's exactly what we're seeing, as Paul Durkee in the 6th making a move, trying to take over the lead, as Curtis Critchley just made a pass up for the lead on Albert Anderson, completed that pass. So Curtis Critchley back up to that front.
Cale Turbeville going down to the inside line. 75 trying to go even lower as he's down on the apron to make it 3 wide.
Oh, turning on the backstretch. Staten was involved, 88.
Yellows out.
Oh, Mark Collins and Stephen Naylor getting involved as well, and hard impact there for Stephen Naylor, tagging that inside wall there. Man, that's a long way away from that racing surface.
Yeah, and it's right there where I told y'all it was going to happen. I mean, coming out of 2, and the wind looks like it's coming off those trucks. They get a little squirrely. Staten, Collins, and then Naylor got collected, along with a Bittner looked like got a little damage too.
Oh man, let's go ahead and take a look at our chopper cams to see exactly what happened here. Oh, we were basically 4 wide there, and just some trucks squiggling and bobbing, and man, just really nowhere to go for that 5, and the machine of Mark Collins there, that 25. Man, just hard impact into that inside wall. That truck is gonna need some fast repair action there, but With that, that's going to bring us down to, I think, our first pit stops here, lap 17. I would expect probably everybody to come down.
Yeah, it's time to come down for sure.
I imagine there's a bunch of guys out here that are screaming for tires already.
Yeah, it looks like they're kind of playing follow the leader. Everybody's coming down. Smart move.
Yeah, that they are. So we will watch this chase off of pit road, as it looks like Andrew Hansley, who did go a lap down there for one reason or another, he's going to be able to get that lap back and jump back onto the lead lap. So good luck for the 24 machine.
Dang, Derek Welch catching some crap from his own guys. As Numb Thumbs Gaming Community on YouTube saying boo DW. Man, that's rough. His own guys are booing him.
Well, I mean, that's part of the business, right?
As the race off of pit road goes to that 27 of Critchley, followed by Anderson, Dustin Reilly, Paul Durkee, Justin Lawson, Kevin Winker, Cody Staten, Caleb Turbeville, Brian Skidmore, and then Hunter Smith.
Kevin Winker on the move. Started way back in 17th. Now up in 5th. The rest of the top 7 or 8 look about the same. That's about the same, about where they started at the beginning of this race.
Right thereabouts. And I mean, so championship-wise, right, kind of looking big picture, obviously Curtis Critchley got to be the favorite. Dominant all season. I mean, he even missed a few races and just points-wise absolutely dominated everything. But I mean, a close second has to be Winker, right? Like, if he just gets a couple good results in a row here, man, he could put some real pressure on that 27.
Turbeville as well, the 64. Kale really does have a shot too to at least take a top 3 home at the end of the season. If he presses it enough, he may be able to inch up another spot or two. We'll see. Got a lot of racing left to go. I think there's how many races did I say? I think there's 5 left after tonight. I have to go back and look.
Well, as you go back and look, we're got a couple other big movers. We got the 408 of Rob Chowder, Bay Area Rob, and the 54 Brandon Coleman, all fighting around the top 15 kind of spot right now, all up 10 spots. They're doing a pretty good job, but man, someone who really needs a rally train right now, that's Albert Anderson.
Well, I got some insider information on that. I think he had an issue and needed a pit stop of his own.
Oh,
So hopefully he's getting back in the rig and give it a run.
Okay, so yeah, down 23 spots. Albert Anderson was looking very strong up there at the front and kind of losing out on some positions there. So we'll just have to wait and see. And who knows, we might just get ourselves some rally train action here tonight.
5 races left, including this one. So after tonight, 4 more races. Indy, Talladega, iRacing Super Speedway, and then Talladega again will be your championship race on the 3rd of May.
Well, until then, we got racing going on here again as the green flag waves, and a big jump there from the 27 of Critchley, man. He left that outside line absolutely sleeping on that tree. He's got a big old gap all the way back to the 6 of Paul Durkee, who's just finally catching back up to him here. He's looking to that inside line, man. Paul Durkee's one of those guys, you know, he can really make advantage of those restarts, and that's what he does here. He jumps straight up to the lead, but here comes Kevin Winker as well. He's got the 20 of Justin Lawson giving him a little bit of a shove here. Even though they're not teammates and his teammate was leading there, he gave Kevin Winker that boost he needed to jump up there and take the lead as we're wrecking back here. Oh no, the 15, the 1, oh, and
3.
Yeah, the 3. Oh no, that's going to bring out the caution here really, really quick. Just, I think 3 wide action there just caught some of these drivers out a little bit.
Yeah, just not enough room right there to run that tight. Stuff happens.
Derek Welch got collected in that as well. Is that cautions, precautions, cold tires, all those cliche things?
Yep, might have something to do with it there. They just didn't have enough time, I don't think, to build up any pressure.
Oh!
In the tires.
Yeah, well, so, man, it was the one kind of got unlucky. He was kind of behind the initial incident here that caused this, and he just got swept up in it. You can see the 6 is 3 wide with the 15 and someone else there. I can't see who that is, but just kind of sneaks up and just barely tags that 15 enough to turn him. Oh, that's a 37 really on that far outside line. And yeah, that one of Derek Welch just getting really caught up into that kind of little bit of a mess there as all these guys are able to kind of drive right on through. Let's take a ride here with the roll bar cam of Earl Evans, who's out there watching here, and he's way back from where this happened. Ooh, man, he had to slice and dice to figure out a hole there.
Yeah, and so did America's driver Albert Anderson. Kind of dodged a bullet there as well. Man, that was a close call for those guys.
So you got the 3 in with some heavy damage. Hunter Smith, same thing. I'm sure the one of Derek Welch has come down. Same thing with that Staten machine.
Kevin Winker saying over on Facebook, some fun, hard racing tonight as he's raced his way up from 17th. He is now in 2nd place. And let's see. Carol Hansley cheered for Andrew as always. So good luck. And Tom over on YouTube saying, DW's a great guy when he's sleeping. Problem is, he doesn't sleep much. But also saying he can't catch a break. And tonight's no exceptions. DW did get caught up in that. But, hey, they got fast repairs. They can get back out there, get fixed. Collins right now, the 25, being shown 1 lap down. Richard Michelob Gray up 10 spots, now sitting in 15th.
Oh, look at him go. But here's something else you can check out. HCK Beagles RacingLeague.com. You can get bios and all kinds of stuff on the drivers, admins, and kind of a little who's who of the HCK Beagles racing community. And I think it's a lot of fun to kind of look at that, see some of these guys and their comments and what they do, what they like to do. It's pretty cool. HCK Beagles RacingLeague.com.
Yeah, absolutely. As we also have Porter Racing now following us over on the Twitch. We thank you for that, good buddy. As we start to get all stacked back up here on this back straightaway, the lights on the pace truck are back off, so we're going to go back to green flag racing here on lap 24 of 80, just past that quarter of the way mark. Quickly going to be approaching that halfway mark, probably before we know it. And, man, it seems like these Michigan races, you look at the total miles and everything, you're like, man, this is going to be a long one. Well, next thing you know, you blink and it's over. So these guys, as much as they have a lot of time left, man, this race could end quicker than what they expect.
Yeah, and running at the speeds that they run here, it's not going to take them long to go 160 miles. Not at all.
Not one bit, as Kevin Winker is going to control the field here, coming into the restart zone, and here they go back to green flag racing. He's going to immediately jump up to that outside line, as, man, that inside line kind of all fell apart behind him, so really no crazy bump drafting strategies going on here. Is just about everyone getting all staggered about, other than kind of like the top 4 here between Winker, Durkee, Turbeville, and Lawson. Everybody else is kind of either single filed out or kind of leaving a little bit of extra space, kind of thinking maybe let's get some more green flag laps in here, boys.
Skidmore sitting pretty solidly right here in 8th place. He's one of those guys, he'll be sneaking on up the the leaderboard and quietly making positions. He's doing the same thing again tonight.
As Paul Durkee takes the lead here and jumps out in front, but here comes Kevin Winker back, trying to take it back over with a dive down that bottom line, and he's able to make that one work. That's one of those moves, man. It kind of turns into more of a dirt track slide job here as the tires wear out, but with this grip, man, he can just send it and make it stick, and that's exactly what he did. As, man, look at Zachary Peterson here in this 96 coming with a full bullhead of steam here. He's now up into second side by side with Paul Durkee and Justin Lawson right there as well. So be on the lookout for that 96 machine. He's been coming up through this field, up 12 spots, very much like Kevin Winker's up 16. He can definitely race his way around Michigan.
When you're starting to see it, this track it just feels racy when you're out there. So you just get more, I guess, confidence as the race goes along of where you're comfortable running, and you can really make some aggressive moves out here in Michigan.
Oh, the 20 in the wall, 27 trying to dodge, 75 and 37 go way low. Ooh.
Man, so we are 3 wide action here for 5th. You got Justin Lawson, Dustin Reilly, Brian Skidmore all still 3 wide as they go through turns 1 and 2, and they're going to be 3 wide when they exit this thing. Thankfully, everyone leaving just a little bit extra room, so really no craziness happening there, and we were able to go back to 2 wide racing as we're 2 wide racing up here at the front between the 42 of Winker and the 96 of Peterson. It looks like Kevin Winker's going to win that battle for right now, but I'm sure more battles yet to come, as here comes Zachary Peterson going all the way down to the apron and across the apron a little bit, trying to get that spot. Oh, as he comes up a lot of the track and actually tags Winker a little bit. That caused everybody to have a big checkup and scatter. So we're going to be 4 wide here going through turn number 1. And we got a spinner. Oh, with a save. That's the 20 of Lawson with a great save exiting turn number 2. He was about 45 degrees facing the wrong way there.
Wow, that was a close one. That's about as close as they get.
Man, there was a lot of mayhem there, and I heard some anger and stuff on the radio, so this ought to get fun right here. I'm getting the popcorn ready.
And that was a very aggressive move there from Peterson to use all of that apron here coming across the start-finish line. Thankfully, it looked like Kevin Winker was using the eyes in the back of his little old head, because he's almost saw that one coming and moved out of the way just in the nick of time. Otherwise, that would have been absolute calamity. As we got action going all the way down to the apron on the back straightaway here. Man, that looks like it was
42 just sent the 96 around, but he saved it somehow. That's worth a look. Damn.
Wonder why he did that.
Oh, man, that was something there. Check out the save.
Fast action replay here. Oh, just tagging that rear end, man. You know what? That one was... I'd give him a pass on that. Didn't look intentional. I think that was just a very close racing call, and the bumpers just barely touched in a kind of awkward angle there, sending that 96, but a great save there from Zachary Peterson.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and say it was intentional. And maybe we'll have to get somebody in the booth to confirm it at some point. But other than that, I thought it was awesome. This is what Michigan is about. This is what these trucks can do, and all the fun we can have out here on the racetrack.
Well, this is one of those things we talk about a lot, Adam, about these trucks being such a fun platform to run. They're durable, and as we see right there, they're very forgiving, okay? You got a really big spoiler sticking up on the back of that thing, and a lot of side panel area. So when the truck gets sideways, it's not impossible to save these things. We saw Anderson with one heck of a save last week as well. So it can be done, and you just saw it there again out of the 96.
So we'll take a ride around here with the 12 of Austin Johnson, who is currently driving in 12th. He's kind of stuck behind the 54 of Brandon Coleman, who's having a great race up 15 spots there. But still, you can kind of see you got some racing action going on in front of them, but a lot of single file action as well. As I think these guys are really starting to feel that kind of tire wear, especially for some of these aggressive, bigger movers, as everything's kind of starting to kind of come back to the track here. As Cale Turbeville up here at the front in the lead. He's got Kevin Winker on that tail end with Brian Skidmore in chase. Same thing with Dustin Reilly and Zachary Staten here. So, man, talk about having a whole group of different cars up here at the front. Almost no teammates all matching up together.
Yeah, I told you watch that 75 is now sitting in third. Donnie Turbeville online, of course, pulling for Cale out there in the 64. Tell him it's a race. It's a race. Don't hold back.
Ooh, I'm still getting over the 96 and the 42. They're shooting dice together in Waco, and one of them's going to get the bad end of it.
I think they found your $2.50 beer pitchers or whatever you guys were talking about. And
50-cent beers in Galveston?
Yeah. We don't.
They gotta give me a map to that.
That's Bush in the draft, but that was also a few years back. Probably $1 now.
So we take a look at some of the other battles going on back here. You got Rick LePage driving the 7 here. He's been having a very rough night. He's down 14 spots on the night. He's currently sitting in 25th. He's looking to try to rally back here. Same thing with Earl Evans in that 203. He's been having a rough night, still trying to break out of that top 20, or into that top 20, I should say. Currently riding around in 23rd, and he's got a couple people to be fighting for that spot here. And you know, that's what we like to see here with these larger fields. It's, you know, even if you end up in a top 20, it's just like, man, I actually had to go do some racing here.
Yeah, if for somebody to finish in the upper half, even of this HCK Beagles Racing League, you've done something, because there's a lot of really talented drivers out here in this truck series.
Yeah, they're still racing back here in 15th, 16th, 17th. This is really good battles back here, as we have the battles up front as well.
Yeah, you got Richard Michelob Gray, Paul Ferdiani, Rodney Griffin. Oh, we're going to be 4 wide here, it looks like, for just a second. You also got Hunter Smith in that 3 trying to fight his way back. So those guys are able to kind of slowly figure things out. Richard Michelob Gray moving up into 14th, so he's slowly inching his way forward. Same thing with Derek Welch. He's trying to come back from that last incident. He's now back up to 11th, driving that one machine right around. He's got Austin Johnson to beat here to try to get into that top 10.
So these guys, most of them anyway, pitted on lap 17, with the exception of a couple of the Numb Thumbs guys and a couple other takers. Oh, how long before these guys are screaming for tires? Because right now we just started lap 37. That's 20 laps on one set of tires here in Michigan. I'm sure it's getting slick out there.
Oh, I'm sure, but not only that, we're coming up on that halfway point in about 3 laps here. So I don't know.
81 was the wall.
Yeah, Osborne was in the wall. He held it.
So I don't know. I don't know the pit strategy here. Is it, do you want to just pit at halfway and then pit at the 3/4 mark, split everything up again, or do you try to run it out? Because I mean, man, everything's running really smooth as Cale Turbeville with that clean air way out in front now, starting to put some space on Kevin Winker, kind of out that back mirror. And man, Cale's one of these guys. He, you know, especially at a track that's not a super speedway where you're relying on, you know, drafting and kind of finding holes, man. If you can find your way out to that front like Cale did, man, you can drive away, and Cale is on an absolute rail.
Yeah, he's putting it on them right now, as he's 6/10 now over second place. Russ Endicott joining us on Facebook saying, let's get it at it, Tenderfoot. And also pulling for the rest of the Team Old Glory out there as well. Zach Peterson making his way back up through the field a little bit here. So now he's sitting in 11th. Still got a lot of heavy damage on the left rear. of that machine, that the Chevrolet Silverado, that's going to cause him some aero problems. But I mean, how bad is that going to hurt him right there?
Not bad. He's hanging in there. All he has to do is hold out for his next pit stop, get that thing fixed. We have fast repairs, so. And once he does, I bet the number 42 has a place on the front end of that truck, so that's where we can. We might see something fun.
This just in, Adam Strom says he did get a pit pass, and he's on his way down to you there, Turner. He's got a couple of cold 12 packs of Milwaukee's Best for you.
All right, we're in. I got him. Come on down.
So 75 of Brian Skidmore is kind of slowly drifting back through this pack. Might be having some connection issues here. He's having problems trying to find him. There he is. Trying to run that bottom line for all it's worth, but I think his tires are all used up, and he's coming down into pit road here.
Yeah, he's having some connection issues, that's for sure.
Richard Gray 3 wide with Peterson and the 12 of Austin Johnson there for a second. Whoa, and he just kind of shut the door on Cody Staten there. He was looking to go outside of Richard.
Man, that's that's one of those things. Good old Michelob is really good at, is shutting doors and putting down some pavement. Right there, he made sure he did one of those two things.
Paul Ferdiani with a pretty awesome paint this week. That 66 truck running that Poker Stars paint job.
They're starting to call out the pits, so it looks like they're running low on fuel or they're tired of their tires, one or the other. Albert Anderson called out. He's about to come in. We have a couple other guys in the pits right now.
Well, all of this was happening. Man, the battle that Kevin Winker, Dustin Reel, and Curtis Critchley have had, man, look at the gap now all the way up to Cale. It is now over 2 seconds. So Cale Turbeville, he can breathe easy as he's got the entire state of Texas worth of room behind him before any of these guys really start to catch up. But, we've also seen it. That 27 is Curtis Critchley, who just comes clear of the 37, who comes down into the pit lane now. He can save a little bit of that tires and really use old equipment really well here, so we'll have to wait and see if he can't try to close up that gap before everyone completes this pit cycle.
Dustin really on his way into the pits with Zachary Phoebus.
Yeah, at this point in the race, I mean, you've had a really good green flag run, so these guys are probably itching for some tires.
Well, this is kind of the dangerous spot in the race, right? So now we're going to have guys with brand new tires, and after a lap or two, they get pressure built up in them things, and you got a few guys out here that are going to be making an extra lap or two on some tires. So you're going to have some differences in speed, if you will. Hopefully it doesn't result in a yellow, because that's really not what some of these guys want to see that have already gotten their service.
Yeah, you're not kidding, as Paul Durkee and Justin Lawson kind of find each other racing around here for the East Coast racing team there, trying to help each other out along here on that old set. But you can just see as the 75 goes right on around them on that bottom line, really no issues whatsoever. So the speed difference between those new and old tires, like you were mentioning, it's a quite hefty thing. And every lap that you're putting down now, because a good chunk of this field's come down, at least half, if not more, have come down to take new stuff. So you got to wonder, for some of these guys, is it really worth it? I mean, Cale kind of has a little bit of that grace wiggle room there, out there in front by his large margin of almost 3 seconds. But it's still kind of getting close to that point where it's like, diminishing returns on some of this.
So I think what Cale's probably going to do, he's going to wait for Critchley to pit. Nope, he's not, as here he comes. 64 is in.
So 64 coming on down as the 27 of Critchley is now going to take the lead. He's got Justin Lawson and Paul Durkee not too far behind, just under a second there about here on a lap 46. So we're past that halfway point, and we can expect probably one more pit stop from these guys. I'm sure maybe 2, depending on if a late caution comes out.
Yeah, that's. I think that's the determining factor there. That, you know, these guys can try to split this next stage, if you will, the remaining laps here, and pit in another 20 or so. But yeah, like you said, you know, the yellow's gonna negate all of that planning. As here comes Dave Maybury, Stephen Naylor, and Brandon Coleman in. So almost complete with the pit stops here. We got a few more holdouts, top 4.
Yeah, and that's Critchley, Lawson, Durkee, and Andrew Hansley, who fought back to get back onto that lead lap. And I mean, he's quite a good chunk away from those other leaders of Lawson and Critchley. However, man, it's still a bold strategy.
He was kind of hoping for a miracle there, Adam. He was waiting on a caution, maybe.
Well, it could be. You know, we're running out of Milwaukee's best down here. They need to come grab them while they can.
Yeah. Donnie Tuberville saying, "Man, on the old tires," he said, "that's where dirt tracking talent rises to the top there." Cody McEwen saying, "Stay in there, Stumpy." And Mike Adams is saying, "Let's go, Albert." Good to see old Mike over here cheering for some of these cats.
As Curtis Critchley, Justin Lawson, and Paul Durkee all come down into pit lane this time. So I think that is going to do it here for our last of the holdouts. Other than I think the 7 of Rick LePage. But he's on a completely different cycle than some of these guys. He last pitted on lap 21, so he can go a little bit further, but he's definitely he's probably getting pretty close here, as it looks like we're going to just about finish up all of these cycles around as Cale Turbeville takes that lead back. He's got Dustin really about a second in his mirror, and he's got about a second to Kevin Winker in his mirror. But Kevin Winker, he's got Albert. No, I'm reading things wrong. Kevin Winker is right on the bumper of Dustin, really, as Derek Welsh has been making some moves here, moving up into this top 4. He's having a battle side by side with Albert Anderson here.
A little clump of cars or trucks behind them. Got the Staten boys, followed by Skidmore. And then Michael Hicks is a lap down, but still in the mix there. 3 wide here.
3 wide across the line. It filters on down to 2, and it slowly looks like it might filter back up to 3. As, man, Zach Staten coming with a big old head of steam here on that bottom line, trying to get past that one of Derek Welsh, while Albert Anderson was looking on that far outside line, but I think he just backed out of it. Maybe thinking a little bit better there.
Here's your Team NTR update for the guys listening out there on the radio. Derek Welch in 4th place right now. Richard Michelob Gray back in 19th. And Mark Collins hanging in there. Still 1 lap down in 28th.
Oh, look at Peterson in the 96. Why did he not fix that truck? It looks like it's slowing him down. He came down to the pits. Yeah, well, I mean, you kind of need it here. You got 2. I don't know what his strategy is, but it looks like it's put him behind a little bit.
Yeah, a little risky to not get that fixed, because who knows when we're going to have another caution. Everybody's spread out now, or mostly. So we're looking at possibly another long green flag run. And with that damage, it's just getting slower and slower. Woo, Critchley and Hicks side by side there. That was pretty close.
And side by side they go as they drive on through turns 1 and 2. Curtis Critchley on those brand new tires, trying to make up as much time as he can to catch back on up to Cale and the rest of these leaders. Cale's lead dropping down to about half a second now, and You got Kevin Winker still right there trying to close in and maybe take over a spot there as Derek Welsh has fended off that position for fourth very well in the 88 of Zach Staten, still up there in that top 5. Kind of continuing to look on through this field. You got the 75, Brian Skidmore still in 10th. Hunter Smith working his way back up to 11th. Let's see here. Paul Ferdiani in 18th, having a okay night, but definitely looking on improving. The 5 of Stephen Naylor, who got involved in that first collection of an incident there. He's back up to 20th and on the lead lap, so he's trying to fight his way back around. But man, Earl Evans and Mark Collins both really fighting here to try to catch back on up, and they're begging for a caution here because they are some of the first guys laps down.
Well, Cale Turbeville, yeah, that gap's not as high as it once was, but here's what I think he's doing. He's just watching the relative maintaining the gap. I think he probably could run faster. He could maybe run it up to a second or two in front. But I think he's just trying to manage that gap behind him right now. No use in burning him up too quick.
As he
Well, they got some good
behind him.
communication out there on the track. They're talking and making sure they're not hitting each other. That's good so far.
Ooh, contact between Ferdiani and the 7 of Rick LePage. LePage able to hang on to it. The 7 may have washed up. Heard a little bit of traffic on the scanner there. Angry Indian 89 joining us on Twitch saying Florida man. Does he want some Florida man?
Oh, I mean, I can pop some off real quick if that's what we need to do here.
Time for one move.
All right, hang on.
Single file most of the way around here, Alan, but still, like Richard back here fighting with LePage in the 7.
Well, not only that, but we got the fight for second rather than, just staying single file, because they were doing a pretty good job of, at least maintaining that gap to Cale. I think that was probably helping them, but they're side by side right now, Dustin Riley and Kevin Winker. And I mean, in the matter of a lap and a half, Cale's lead just went from half a second to 2.5 seconds. So that's how much fighting really kills your speed and momentum here.
That says it all right there. Cale's loving them fighting over second behind him. Now he can back it down a little bit more even if he wanted to.
Now, even with all that backing down, I don't think you can make it to the end from where these guys pitted on lap 45, just after halfway. I think they probably have, about 30 laps of fuel tops in those things, so you're looking about 5 laps short, and I don't know if Cale can save that much.
No, they're definitely going to have to hit it at least one more time here. Mike Adamson over on Facebook saying, can't wait for tomorrow at Pocono. So join us tomorrow. Vigilante Racing League is going to Pocono for the first time this season.
Well, don't hit your teammate in the tunnel turn at Pocono and everything will be cool.
Sorry about that, Ed.
Yeah.
I'll be
Never forget.
apologizing for that forever.
Never will forget. Yeah, that'll be fun.
I had cold tires. I couldn't see. The track was hot. My spotter
foggy.
didn't work. It was foggy.
Oh man, there's some really good stuff happening on the track. It looks kind of single file at the moment, but you're still having some action. Guys trying to cross each other over, like we were talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
Winker.
Yeah, Winker and really, man, they keep on fighting, which keeps just giving Cale Turbeville just more and more space. I mean, eventually he's gonna almost, have a full straightaway on some of these guys. As back here for 16th and 17th, you got Jonathan Osborne and Brandon Coleman as Brian Skidmore coming down into pit lanes.
So is this a track where maybe short pitting might be kind of a good idea? Do something different? Maybe pit and leave yourself enough laps where you don't have to pit again no matter what. I mean, if you pitted now at lap 60, you'd be good to the end. I mean, you think we'll see any short pitting?
I think we could definitely see that, but I think this is going to be one of those where we get to actually see the people who've put in a lot more practice than some of the other ones, who understand, how much seconds they're actually losing, lap after lap, and figure it, you know what, if I pit in here, this is when it makes the most sense. And I mean, it could be after 20 laps, could be, like you said, right here on lap 60, could be, who knows, like 5 or 6 laps after that. I mean, we saw Cale Turville, he stayed out past halfway a good chunk. He's, pitting on lap 45, which, I mean, those 5 laps, they add up.
And check him out right now. He is checked out. 5 1/3 seconds on Dustin Reilly. 5 1/2 seconds now.
And all of this is happening. Why? Because he and Kevin Winker are still side by side. And you know what that has also done? That's allowed the one of Derek Welch to catch up. And same thing with the 88 of Zachary Staten. So now we've got, 4 cars looking at trying to make it up into that second place spot, rather than just those 2.
Gregory Turner on Facebook saying, this is some of the best racing on iRacing. And I 100%. Oh, the 3 is around going into the pits. Didn't see if he had help there, but he's having to check up and let guys past him.
Oh boy, Paul Ferdiani just squeezing on by, and being a single car incident and down there on pit road, we're not going to see a yellow from that. Thankfully, everybody able to dive on around as we got our first really big chunk of takers. Albert Anderson, Rick LePage, Paul Ferdiani, Rob Chowdhury, all coming down into the pit lane here on with just under 20 to go here as Cale crosses that start-finish line. 18 laps now remain. And when is Cale going to pit? Or, man, at this point, I was saying I don't know if Cale could save that much fuel. At this point, he could coast around for an entire lap, still be fine. Still have the lead, and that probably gets him an extra lap of fuel.
If you guys heard, but there's the rally train going by behind me. This week's rally train brought to you by Muehlberger Custom Homes. So let's talk about the guys near the end of the lead lap here that might have a chance to rally and get back up there and get a decent finish. Andrew Hansley and Coleman, a couple of those guys, they have not pitted yet in this round. But as soon as they do, I mean, they're still going to be near the back of the lead lap. But do they have enough time to work their way up to the front of this field?
They just might, as this thing continues to tick away. You got Cody Staten, Kevin Winker, and Zach Staten all coming down into the pit road. So that left kind of Derek Welch to try to get around Dustin Reilly, who also came down into the pits back there on lap 63. And here comes Derek Welch now coming down into the pits. So really, and Curtis Critchley coming down into the pits. So the next person that Cale Turville's fighting here for position is Justin Lawson, who is 12 seconds back.
12 seconds.
As everybody's making all this pit cycle action. And I got to imagine Cale's probably seeing everybody come into the pits. He's like, man, do I have to come off? I'm driving good. Do I really need stuff? But, man, I would assume we're going to see Cale come in here within the next couple laps. Here he comes, coming right on down into the pit lane.
Yeah, you can't get too cocky. I'm telling you this. Anything can happen here. We could have a late crash. He's running really, really well, but does that weigh on your nerves too? As you're watching that relative, are you hitting your marks? You just kind of got to race the racetrack at this point.
You can't watch it too much. You can't be too concerned about it, but it's definitely in the back of their mind.
As Justin Lawson and Dave Hot Rod Mayberry have yet to come down. Same thing with that 24 of Andrew Hansley. Andrew Hansley last pitted on lap 48. So that's even pushing it further than what Cale did with his lap 45. So Andrew, I think he might be really trying to push this thing all the way out to the limit. Unfortunately, I think he's going to have the issue of running on super old tires and really no speed left. As looks like he gets around Justin Lawson there. Oh, nope, Justin Lawson's still around with the lead out in front as Caleb Turbeville came out of the pits in fourth with all those fresh tires and everything. Very slow pit stop there, 16.8, so he definitely took his time to make sure that car is in perfect working order.
Yeah, Hansley, he's pitting now. If he would have stayed out, he would have still kept losing, 2.5 seconds per lap. So doing the right thing here. Andrew's in the 24. Oh, let's see, Rebecca Smith on YouTube saying, settle down, Hunter. You got this. Proud of you, son. So proud mama Rebecca out there watching Hunter Smith race today.
As we take a look here, we got a big old wad of trucks. You got Kevin Winker, Zach Staten, Dustin Reilly, and Rodney Griffin with a group of 4 all having a little battle here. Same thing with Derek Welsh, Brian Skidmore, and Cody Staten right behind them by about a second here. All this big group of cars trying to shuffle in for position, and some of these guys not even in it for the playoff chase. Like Dustin Reilly, and I don't believe Rodney Griffin's in the chase. I gotta look at my little standings thing.
Bruce Muehlberger over on Facebook saying, good evening, everybody. Go number 42. The 42 of Kevin Winker, of course, carrying tonight's sponsor, Muehlberger Custom Homes, on the hood and on the tailgate of that truck. So, and Gregory Turner, of course, jumping on Facebook as well, thanking the sponsor for making this possible. Get over there to HCK Beagles Racing League.com. They have a sponsor page on there, and descriptions and links and stuff to the sponsors of these races, and Bruce over there at Muehlberger Custom Homes really sponsoring a lot of races this season. In fact, I think he's got the rest of the schedule. Looking at the schedule, I believe he's got just about every race for the rest of the season, including the championship. So what a great partner to have on board for HCK Beagles in Bruce over there at Muehlberger Custom Homes.
So
we've got about 10 to go, Brown. I think it's time for Florida Man, if you got a quick second. Florida Man gives Botox treatments without medical license while drinking 4 Locos during consultations. That seems about right.
Or what?
The 4 Locos, the drinks. It's,
I don't know what it is.
yeah, it's...
That went over my head. That's still pretty funny, though.
Yeah.
Good old Florida Man, always at it.
You can never get away from it.
Check out old Hot Rod, man. Dave Hot Rod Maybury leading this thing for the time being.
Hey, he's putting in some good laps driving that 115 truck. He's got about 25 seconds as to... Oh, no, my time is just going a little crazy. I think Cale Turbeville's just on the complete other side of the track. That's why it's kind of on my time, and it's showing Cale not in second. But Cale is in second, trying to make up some of this time. But yeah, Dave Hot Rod Mayberry last pitted on lap 47, and he's got a pretty decent gap there on Cale. But I'll go back to my
hammer time.
As I kind of go back to my original thing, Rodney Griffin is not in the chase. However, he is part of one of those guys that's trying to hunt down that very eyed upon 11th place spot here for the final season standings, as that spot gets paid entry for next season. And he's, having a battle here with trying to get out in front of Paul Ferdiani in points, and the 4 of Eric Stoy, who's not racing here tonight. So that's going to that 4 of Eric Stoy is going to be losing a few spots.
Kind of hard to do a start and park too if you got a brand new baby just got born. So pretty good reason to not race tonight.
Yeah, there's better things in life.
That's right.
But this is a good time, good pastime, good hobby, simulation, not a game. Everybody knows
So,
that.
with a few laps to go, let's do one more NTR radio check for the NTR guys out here race. Derek Welch in 5th right now. Richard Gray in 19th. Both on the lead lap here. And then Collins is in the 25. He's 1 lap down still in 21st. So thanks, guys, for listening to us out there while y'all are out there trucking. Numb Thumbs land.
Absolutely, as we have 7 laps remaining. The gap between Mayberry and Cale is 15.5 seconds. Now, Cale, I mean, he's running 2 seconds a lap faster. So, this thing could get a little tight here at the end. Nope, as Dave Hot Rod Mayberry comes down into the pits.
Dream is over. Well, yeah, he had fun out there.
Yeah, he was Dave Hot Rod leading a few laps out there. He was looking to try to get a good result. Same thing, with one of those other guys, Josh Bittner, driving the 84. He's one of those guys that we typically see do very well, but I think he just got mired up in traffic for a good chunk of this race and wasn't able to kind of make his way through. He's up 6 spots on the day. Right around 18th in that 84, but man, that's a rough day for some of these Old Glory guys. I think they're some of their top guys is Dustin Reilly and Albert Anderson.
Great night for those guys that we normally see way up there at the front at some of these races.
Ooh, as Derek Welch takes the lead away, or the second place away from Kevin Winker. These guys are going to go and have themselves a little battle here, side by side, across turns 1 and 2 here with 5 laps remaining. Again, Cale, 5+ seconds out. I think these guys kind of understand what's going on. They're probably not going to catch them, so they're going to fight for every single spot that they can, and that's what they're doing.
Daniel McMillan over there on Facebook saying, let's go, Cale. Cale does not want a caution. He is 5.5 seconds in front of Derek Welch right now. He does not want to rack and stack this thing back up for a shootout here at the end. He wants this thing to stay green like it is.
Why'd you have to say the C word?
Yeah, let's blame English if that happens.
Hey, I'm just saying, it does happen. 5 of Stephen Naylor going around another car here, not for position. Yeah, it's counting down here. A couple more laps to go.
Well, you think, what was that, the old roll bar pad or something fly out of somebody's truck?
Yeah, roll bar foam or something throw out the window.
Yeah, that's got to happen here. We're going to see Cale just run away with this thing.
And Miss Kathleen Anderson joining us here. She says, I'm late, but I'm here for Albert.
Yeah, Albert having a good run here. He's in a solid top 10 10th. He, -8 on the day because he started up there in second, but really had to battle back through some adversity. I guess he had some issues going on and had to step away for a second. Thankfully stayed on the lead lap, but that put him kind of behind the 8 ball. And man, when you got to fight through 27 other trucks, man, it gets pretty hard to really crawl your way back up through.
Somebody that never really recovered, Zachary Peterson, 1 lap down here. Looking at his truck, he did get his rear end damage fixed, but never able to recover after that accident.
I don't know if that was
Yanni
an accident.
scraping the wall there.
That was kind of a purposeful event that happened on the track for reasons.
Maybe. For reasons.
For reasons. Well, if things finish up the way they do right now, we'll talk to one of those involved in that incident, and that would be Kevin Winker. As Cale Tuberville with that gigantic, humongous lead out in front with 2 laps remaining. He's coming across the line. White flag waves. Just 4 more corners for Cale to find. I believe this will be his 2nd win of the season. And he's looking really good. Got his first win just before the playoffs started there at Indianapolis. And looking really good here tonight at Michigan. Coming down this back straightaway. 6.5 seconds clear of everybody. Man, oh man, everything is going right for Cale tonight. That 64 machine, man, might be a brand new paint job, but I got a feeling that one might be sticking around for quite a while as he comes down and across the line to pick up his win here in these Chase playoffs to move on along with those points. You got Derek Welsh staying out in front of Kevin Winker, picking up a second place for that Num Thumbs Gaming 1 machine. Kevin Winker with a solid podium third place finish, up 14 spots on the day. Same thing with teammate Zachary Staten. Dustin really was battling it out there for a while with Kevin Winker, able to come home in 5th.
El Purpleville in the ice cream truck. You cannot change that sponsor now. You might change the paint. Don't change the sponsor. Now that he's kind of broken the seal, so to speak, the wins are just going to keep coming for Kale. I see that guy having a great career here at HCK.
Yeah, he does. So we're going to allow him to do some burnouts here down and across the line as puts on a great smoke show here for the virtual fans, but all of that. But I know he's got some real fans out there on Facebook and YouTube, so give it on up for Kale as he put on a great effort here tonight. And really, I mean, once when he got clear, man, it all goes back to that key of the race that I said is get some room. He got some room and he used it and never looked back.
Yeah, y'all didn't jinx him or nothing.
Well, the Team America and the Old Glory guys, I keep see a couple ECR trucks out there. They're all have a little demo derby off pit road. That's always fun.
Yeah, it's fun to do, especially blow off some steam after
Yeah.
running 80 laps here at Michigan.
Well, we sure appreciate everybody joining us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch tonight. And for all the virtual truckers over there running for Spadium Trucking, listening to us on Num Thumbs Radio, thanks for joining us tonight.
As
What
we,
a great race here at Michigan. It always is, isn't it?
man, it is, and it was fairly clean. We saw what, 3 cautions, maybe. It was a really good night. But speaking of which, we can start these interviews off. And man, Turner, I know you're going to want to speak to this guy, and that's that 42 of Kevin Winker, who had a solid race here tonight, crawling his way up through the field, up 14 spots, bringing home a podium third place finish. Kevin, this is a pretty good race to put under your belt here, especially as we move along in these playoffs. And man, it was a tough one out there, and kind of saw it a little bit. I think you had a little too much of a battle there with Dustin Riley, and that allowed Kale to kind of really get away from y'all.
Yeah, I had 2 crappy races to start the chase, so I'm happy with the third. I mean, the last 2 chase races have been crap, so I'm happy with third all day. And then, yeah, me and the 37 there, we were just battling hard there, and then Kale kind of pulled away, and then after that, it was kind of his race to lose. But overall, I'm happy with the third, so I'll take it.
Well, yeah, not only that, but you guys that are running towards the top of the standings probably like to see that Curtis Critchley finished in 1 lap down back in 22nd. So that's going to put y'all good in the points for gaining a little bit on Curtis Critchley for the top spot.
Yeah, he must have had some kind of penalty because he was running top 5 there, and then he came out and he was a lap down. But I don't know about me catching him, but I know Cody and Zach, they were higher up there in points, so I don't know if they're going to take over the point lead or not. But definitely always an advantage, when somebody like that loses a bunch of points in a race. So it's always an advantage to you if you can capitalize on and gain points.
Okay, yeah, I mean, good job, podium, whatever. Listen, 96 and the 42. Can you describe any of that, or are you going to do the no comment?
Yeah, I'm going to go flat out. If you're going to pass me, I'm not going to move all the way up to the wall just so you can get the lane. I didn't run him down the track. It's the same thing if you're at Phoenix. If you go in the dog leg and the guy's on the track, you don't have to move up. That's their responsibility to merge, back up. So I thought I didn't do anything wrong. So, I mean, and then he wanted to door slam me, so then I got him loose going whatever a couple laps later. So I called even.
I think it's even. It was a heck of a fun time to watch. And that's racing, man. That's just a racing deal. And appreciate you kind of explaining that. I know there's no hard feelings now. It's over. It's on to the next one, right?
Of course, always. On to the next week. We go to Indy, which I like. I'm usually strong there, so I know Curtis and Kale are strong there too. So it should be a good battle for between us three there.
Oh man, we definitely look forward to that one. And before we let you go here, Kevin, you got any shout outs or anything like that?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout again to Kale. Got his second win of the season, so the floodgates definitely open for him. So congratulations again to him. Shout out to my sponsor, Muehlberger Custom Homes, for coming on, sponsor me, sponsor tonight's race. Thanks to them. Thanks to my teammates. Josh couldn't make it tonight. I think he was in Florida or something, but he was tuning in, cheering us on. So thanks to him, Zach and Cody. We all had I think we all finished top 7, top 6. So great run for all of our team. And then shout out to you guys in the broadcast booth, as always, killing it with the broadcast. Greg and Derek and Austin, all the guys that put this league on. And then last, my buddies Justin and Brandon. Thanks to them for tuning in like usual. So thanks to everybody for watching. Hopefully it was a good race.
Awesome, Kevin. Well, again, congrats on the third place finish here tonight, and good luck next week and as these playoffs keep rolling on.
Sounds good. Thank you guys. Have a good night.
All right. And now we'll move up to our second place finisher of the evening. And it didn't look like he was going to finish second here for a while, but he was able to fight and claw his way to a hard charger. So talk about a rally train here for the one of Derek Welch, Numb Thumbs Gaming Machine, finishing here in second. Man, Derek, that was a pretty good effort to crawl your way back, especially after getting caught up in an incident that really you just had nowhere to go other than get swept up in it.
Yeah, it was once I got caught in that accident, I'm like, well, here we go again, and I was able to fight my way back up. My beginning, this first, well, pretty much entire season has been a rough go for me, just getting involved in every little accident that could possibly happen on the track. And it seems like these last, I don't know, 3 or 4 races, I've been climbing uphill, getting better and better, and I'm ready for next season to start, man. I'm starting to get back up there, running good, and not getting involved in every single wreck on the track. So I'm happy.
Keep rubbing on that rabbit's foot or whatever you got going for you. But yeah, man, what a great recovery. And I know the guys over at Numb Thumbs were listening on the radio on Numb Thumbs Radio tonight and pulling for you in the comments and stuff like that. So glad to see luck finally turning it around for you. How do you feel about Indy next week? I know that Super Speedway racing is not really your thing, but did great here tonight and probably going to do well at Indy too, huh? You got any thoughts on that?
No, I hate Indianapolis. I hate it with a passion. I'll be lucky to finish in the top 10 in that place. I can't stand it. So
hard to pass, that's for sure.
Yeah. I'll just go out there with a mindset to save my tires and make runs at the end. That's the best I can do at Indy. I'm trash. So, but yeah, that's all I can do at Indy.
Well, you're up to 18 spots here today. I bet you got some tricks up your sleeve at Indy. We're going to keep our eye on you. You got any shout outs or anything you want to say before we let you go?
Oh yeah, of course, Numb Thumbs Gaming. I love everybody there. I'm privileged and honored to have that and have all these great guys with me and the guys on my team, Richard Gray and Mark Collins, great guys to run with, and Gregory and all the admins here at HCK is a great league, and we kind of teamed up together to run all these other free leads and for the guys here in both leagues. So I'm honored to be a part of this ride.
Well, man, you definitely put that honor on display here tonight, bringing that one machine home in second. Man, good luck the rest of this season. I know, solid second place finish definitely helps that momentum, man. So we look forward to hopefully seeing you again.
All right, appreciate it. Oh, sorry, I got one more shout out, DEP. My sponsor on my truck. I always forget to mention them, DEP Graphics. He painted my truck. I appreciate it, brother. I love you. Thanks for having our back and my back and being a part of Numb Thumbs also.
Awesome. Awesome, man. Well, have a great night.
All right, thank you.
All right. Well, this time the wait was a little bit shorter, and it is feeling pretty good here for that 64 machine for Cale Turbeville, picking up the second win of his season here over at HCK Beagles. Man, it must feel pretty good. And riding around with a slightly newer paint job, same sponsor, but not so chromed out. So maybe changing up that paint scheme might have found a little bit more luck for you.
It sure did. That's exactly what I was thinking whenever I picked it. And it couldn't have done no better for me.
Well, you took that ice cream truck for another great ride out there again today. Talk about when pit stops were starting to come up, it looked like, with the exception of one time, it looked like you were just waiting for the guys behind you to start ducking into the pits because you had such a comfortable lead. You had a couple of seconds on second place, and a lot of that was because those guys were fighting each other back there. But that aside, is that kind of what was driving your decision on when to pit? Was what the guys were doing behind you?
Pretty much, both times really. I was just waiting for second and third to duck off, and I'd make one or two more laps and come in. That was pretty much the main way I was judging it.
Well, we pretty much ran away with it the last half of the race, but were you looking in that rear view? Were you looking at that relative, or were you just trying to stay focused on the track itself?
Coming out of every corner, I was down there looking at the relative, trying to pace myself, but not let them gain on me in any way. They got close one time. I think they just kind of burned their tires up drafting. That's another thing about being out front here is once you're out of the draft, it's really easy on the tires. It's not burning them up, getting that aero push coming out of the corners.
Well, you sure knew what you were doing out there with that truck again tonight. Great strategy out there managing that gap behind you. And we called it out a couple of times, saying, he could probably, widen that gap just a little bit more, but you did the smart way, and it's easy to kind of get carried away and go out there and just try to blast everybody and try to lap the field and all that kind of stuff. But smart racing out there by maintaining that gap and taking care of your truck, taking care of your tires. So good on you. Great win tonight.
Well, thank you. I know that second pit stop, I about threw it away. I went sliding in there, locking up the brakes going down pit road, and then slid past my pit box. I got lucky I didn't get a black flag for speeding in pits, but I ain't complaining about it.
Hey, man, just like in golf, there's no pictures on that scorecard. All that matters is that 64 machine is on top of that leaderboard pole right there in the middle of the field, man. So that's the only thing that matters. But before we let you go, you got any shout-outs or anything like that out there?
Yes, sir. I'd like to thank my mama, my daddy, my sister, one of my buddies, Kason, Daniel from Buddy's Carts and Parts. I saw that he was watching in, so shout out to him. And American Creek Racing, and y'all for doing such a great job announcing.
Awesome, man. Well, we appreciate it, and congratulations on the second win, and we look forward to seeing what else you can pull out here at the rest of these playoffs.
Me too. Thank y'all.
All right, man. That was a solid race. Holy smoke!
It really was. And
that was quick. That was over in a blink of an eye.
what a surprise, to see, Critchley have problems at 27. Our buddy up there in Canada, won the pole. Pretty much, almost guarantee you he's going to be in the top couple of positions every week. And just a big surprise out there today. See him one lap down, finish way back 22nd. So I know he's not happy about it, but it's gonna make the run for the championship just a little bit tighter after tonight.
And that is something we will definitely be watching. Well, as we wind things down here from Michigan, let's go ahead and talk about our final finishing order here tonight. Got Cale Turbeville picking up that second win for that 64 machine. And, man, we're going to see that Klondike 64. Man, he's going to be up front quite a lot. I got a feeling here. I also got Derek Welch being hard charger of the day, up 18 spots to finish in second. So great job there, Derek. Same thing with Kevin Winker and Zachary Staten. Couple teammates there, up 14 spots both. Kevin Winker in third with Zach Staten driving that 88 machine home in fourth. Dustin really had a solid night for that 37 machine to bring it home in fifth, with Paul Durkee driving that 6 to a 6th place finish. The 15 of Cody Staten finished here in 7th, with Justin Lawson driving that 22 in 8th place finish. You also got the 75 of Brian Skidmore. He was one of those guys that we were looking to maybe be a little bit of a sleeper here, but still a solid race in 9th, with Albert Anderson driving that 2 machine home for a top 10 10th.
Yeah, Jonathan Osborne in the 81, up a couple of spots from where he started, but not really not really a great night for him. Still pretty solid though here in the middle of the pack. You always know, competitive guys like him, they always want more. And the 97 of Rodney Griffin finishing right there behind him in 12th. Hunter Smith in the 3 machine started in 9th, finishing here tonight in 13th place. Paul Ferniani in the 66 started way back in 23rd place, up to 14th to finish. Really solid finish there. And talking about comebacks, man, Rob Chowdhury, same way in the 408 machine, started in 27th to finish right there behind Paul in 15th place. Brandon Coleman in the 54, pretty solid performance by him. He was up 10 positions to finish in 16th place. Dave Hot Rod Mayberry in the 115 truck started in 10th, fell back to 17th, but kept it on the lead lap. Where am I at here? 110 of Richard Michelob Gray started back in 25th, but the Numb Thumbs racer finished in 18th place, right in front of Rick LePage in the 7. He started in 11th, finished right there in 19th, and Austin Johnson in the 12 finished just about where he started, and he'll close out your top 20.
Yeah, in 21st place, the 84 of Josh Bittner. Normally see him up front. Must have had some issues there. 22nd at Curtis Crishley. Same thing. We just talked about him. Falling down to 22nd place. In 23rd, the 96 of Zachary Peterson. 24th, number 24, Andrew Hansley the 4th. 25th, the 203 of Earl Evans. The 26th place, 76 of Michael Hicks. 27th, we have the 5 of Stephen Naylor. 28th position to 25 truck of Mark Collins. It looks like in 29th, we had a starting park with Josh Moore, it looks like there. And that's it, man. What a good one here at Michigan.
Yeah, you're not kidding. I mean, essentially having 28 trucks take to the green flag and 28 trucks cross the line for the checker flag. That's a really solid night. I think that's the first time between all the leagues that we've done that we didn't see anybody disconnect here tonight.
That's awesome to have no DNFs. And, you had a couple guys that are a couple of laps down, but for the most part, we didn't see anybody that was stuck in the pits for 15 laps getting fixed, Everybody able to get fast repairs done, get back out there and, at least keep it somewhat close. And, the battle of the lap cars, that's a real thing. I mean, those are points too. So, finishing with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 trucks 1 lap down. I mean, that's kind of cool. Those guys were still battling for position back there. So, any time we could come to a track like this and have an exciting, fun race and everybody finish the race that started it, that's awesome. What an accomplishment.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And talking about an accomplishment, we got to talk about our race sponsor one more time, Muehlberger Custom Homes. Go check them out on Facebook, their website. You can email them. You can call them. If you're anywhere near that Michigan area, man, go give them a look out and see the work that they've done, because they've done some really, really nice projects, whether that's building the house, doing some remodeling, or anything like that. Go ahead and hire yourself some true A-plus quality professionals over there at Muehlberger Custom Homes. And I know, Mr. English, I think you got that phone number ready that you can give them a call at
Yes, sir.
to get just a straight hold of I think that's probably going right to Bruce Muehlberger himself. And he's been a proud sponsor over here at HCK Beagles for quite a while. And we're going to be seeing their name here these final few races quite a bit. So definitely go check them out and give them some attention.
Yeah, they're over in the Three Rivers, Western Michigan area. MuehlbergerCustomHomes.com. You can also give them a call at area code 269-217-4948 or send them a message on Facebook or email them at bruce@MuehlbergerCustomHomes.com, and they'll get back to you. Just go check out their website, check out their Facebook page. Just the pictures of all the work they've done. It's amazing quality work, and it looks like these guys really put in, the extra time to make sure it's done right. Because when you're having something done like that to your home, something that major in your life, you want it done right. And these guys look like they really do take the time, and they've got some great reviews. So definitely go check those guys out in whatever way you can, because this is the kind of sponsors we're proud to have, is cats like this that really go the extra mile. So thank you to Muehlberger Custom Homes.
While we're on top of those thank yous, we thank you all for tuning in and watching, whether that's on the Twitch, the Facebook, the YouTube, or if we're on some other platform that I'm not aware of that we're going to, man. We thank you all for tuning in and watching week in and week out. You all are the reason why we do this. Otherwise, it'd just be three idiots watching just virtual trucks go round and round in circles, and that's just a really sad thought, to be honest. But in other news, we'll be live here at Pocono with the Vigilante Racing League here tomorrow night. It's going to be the same bat time, same bat channel for those guys. I think their practice starts at 8, with the stream starting right around the 8:45, 8:50 mark in Eastern time. So we look forward to seeing some of y'all out there to watch and enjoy some racing over there. But until then, I'm Alan Brown for Alan English and Adam Turner. We are signing off.
And congrats once again to Eric Stoy and his brand new baby that he took home today. I know he wasn't racing tonight, but just know that a lot of us out here are thinking about you, Eric. And with that, we go.
See ya.